I can't say who did it, but I think one thing is for sure. I don't know what Mob James is saying is true, but one thing we can say, it comes down to these two potential people right here. We got Amir Muhammad and we have Poochie.
Wicked sweep.
Earlier this week, Mob James, former Death Row Records Suge Knight affiliate, Mob James, he was on a platform, Vlad TV. He did an exclusive interview, extensive interview. He's a normal guest on Vlad TV, his channel. And Mob James basically confirmed something that we've all kind of heard rumblings of over the last 20 plus years, going on 24 years since 1997, that Poochie, his name is Poochie, that's his AKA alias Poochie, real name, Wardell Poochie Faust, was the gunman that pulled the trigger on March 9th, 1997 in Los Angeles. Poochie was the one that basically shot and killed the Notorious B.I.G. Let's just call it for what it is. Let's just not even beat around the bush. This is according to Mob James, not out of my mouth and not out of everybody else's mouth, but a lot of people has been speculating and has been wanting to confirm this over the last 20 plus years, that Poochie was the one that was the trigger man behind the murder of the Notorious Biggie Smalls. Whether or not that's true, that's a whole nother thing right there. Mob James is saying it. A lot of other people have been saying it and claiming it. Mob James said that the hood has been saying it, for many, many years, and it's not a secret. The word has been out in the hood, for years, that Poochie was the trigger man. Poochie was also a Suge Knight affiliate, and the rumor is, and the word on the street is, that Poochie got paid by Suge Knight to carry out the murder of Biggie Smalls. Poochie has, of course, if you didn't know, he died some years ago. I think in the early 2000s, he died a horrible death. He got shot like 10 times in the back. So, Mob James wasn't the only one to say this. Reggie Wright, who was also a former Suge Knight Death Row Records affiliate, I think he was head of security or something like that at one point. And at one point, he was even taking over, some of the CEO duties when Suge Knight was locked up over at, Death Row Records. Reggie Wright, who was at the helm of some of the big decisions that was being made over at Death Row Records at the time when Suge Knight was locked up, basically confirmed the same thing that Mob James said, that, yeah, he believed Poochie was the trigger man. Now, this is Mob James' theory. This is a lot of people's theory according to Mob James, but this kind of goes against the grain of what we've heard also over the last 24 years from Little C's and the whole, a lot of people that was there in Biggie's entourage that night. Just recently, we've heard, I don't know if you've seen it, but a lot of us have seen the interviews on, not just Vlad TV, but on his own platform. Gene Dill has came out and said that Amir Muhammad, who was, the guy that famous mugshot that we all saw of the so-called Muslim in the bow tie and the blue suit, that famous, infamous mugshot that you can see right here. This person was identified by Little C's, who was in the car with Big, and also Gene Dill, who was there, who was doing personal security for Sean Combs, for Diddy that night, and also just in general back in the day, said that this was, the guy that was pretty much around the scene, casing the scene, and ultimately was the one, according to Little C's, a part of, Junior Mafia, one of Biggie's mans and them, said that, his Biggie man said that, he was the one and he saw him pull the trigger. And Amir Muhammad is, definitely tried to stay away from this situation over the last 24 years. He's currently 60 years old, and he's, I think he's doing real estate or something like that. But according to sources and things of that nature, he doesn't want anything. He won't grant you an interview or anything like that, So word is that he was actually the one. So we got two names that's been floating around here for the past 24 years. As of right now, this is just becoming resurfaced news because of what Mob James said earlier this week. And if you actually, there's actually was a news article that came out in the New York Post that pretty much solidified Amir Muhammad as the shooter. The New York Post article, which actually came out in May of just this year, like literally 3 months ago, says that Death Row founder Marion Suge Knight financed the hit on Notorious B.I.G. and he was behind it. And then it goes on to say that he hired Amir Muhammad with the help of corrupt Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD cops, according to an FBI agent who worked the case and sources who have seen sealed court documents that no one has seen. And so there you have it right there. And it's all in black and white from the New York Post. And it goes on to say that, all the evidence points to Amir Muhammad. He's the one who pulled the trigger. Retired FBI agent Phil Carson says, Phil Carson worked the case for 2 years. And there was plenty of others who helped orchestrate and helped Amir Muhammad out in the situation. Who knows? Pretty much, I don't know. I wasn't there. You wasn't there. None of us was there. None of us will see and none of us will ever find out. I mean, hey, that's probably maybe the way they wanted it. They never wanted maybe the truth to come out. Just look at it like that. I don't know. We'll just have to see. And just wait and see what the future holds for this case. If anything, who knows? Probably not. I mean, it's been 25 years almost. But I will check y'all later. It's AP on the spot. Have a good one. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll check y'all later. One love. Peace.